Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a good day today. Got some interesting news today as well, with a little bit of spiciness. But as always, we always have to talk about sometimes the Democrats, and this one will be no different. Our famous and our most favorite Lori Lightfoot. Now, Governor Abbott from Texas has actively gone out and said that he will be sending people to New York, Chicago, and California, etc., to all these sanctuary cities that like to house these people. Now that he is doing that, Lord Lightfoot comes out and wants to claim this wrong. Well, here's the thing. You don't want them sent to your city because you know that what it's going to cause. You don't know what the damage is being done in Texas, Florida, and Arizona because they're having a huge migrant flooding problem. It's a problem there. And this is all due to the policies of your fellow Democrats that have done this. So therefore, it's your guys' fault. So, without further ado, here is the clip that is what I'm talking about.
And the mayor of Chicago.
So this is the governor from Texas. To continue providing much needed relief to our small overrun border towns, Chicago will join fellow sanctuary cities, Washington, D.C. and New York City, as an additional drop-off location. Mayor Lightfoot loves to tout the responsibility of her city to welcome all, regardless of legal status. And I look forward to seeing this responsibility in action as these migrants receive resources from a sanctuary city with the capacity to serve them.
So what'd the mayor say?
Then the mayor says, unfortunately, Texas Governor Greg Abbott is without any shame or humanity. But ever since he put these racist practices of expulsion into place, we have been working with our community partners to ready the city to receive these individuals.
I want to thank, first and foremost, the Salvation Army. We could not do this work without them. They've been incredibly generous of their time and their resources. I want to thank the Resurrection Project. I want to thank the Hannah Group. There's so many others that I am sure I will neglect to mention. But what we see here is who we are, Chicagoans. When we have people come to our city, no matter their country of origin, no matter their circumstances, we all rally together and we stand tall. That's what we have done. That's what we will do. But let me also say this. Shame on Governor Abbott. What he is doing is immoral, unpatriotic, and it defies the values of who we are as Americans. We can disagree on policy and politics, but you don't treat people this way. But we will, no matter, stand up. But shame on him. He brings a stain upon our nation. This absolutely cannot continue. We've got to rally together in these times, help these people that are in need. We shouldn't be in a situation where families are thrown on buses with babies, pregnant women, people who are in need of medical care on an uncertain journey across our country. But in Chicago, we are ready, we are prepared, and we will make sure that none of these folks are left in the lurch. But there's got to be a better way.
You know, what I find hilarious about the Democrats is that they keep on preaching about these stuff, like how things are sanctuary cities or whatever, and then when they get like a small influx or a little minor influx of actual migrants or people or illegal immigrants migrating to their city, they start complaining and batting and going batshit crazy because there's too many. That's because when you guys are not sitting as a border state, you don't have to deal with the massive influx of migrants. And this is why part of the reason some people are shipping buses of migrants to their cities. Because all it does is make Democrats absolutely look bad. Because they're dealing with a fraction of what, like I said, with Arizona, Florida, and Texas. They're dealing with a fraction of these type of people coming into their states. Like, Arizona's really, really bad. Texas is really, really bad. And they have to put in things into place to deal with these excessive amount of illegal migrants coming into their states. So when you have other states saying, okay, we're going to ship buses of migrants into your states, which are obviously sanctuary states for illegal immigrants, well, there you go. You can't do anything because it's a sanctuary for them because that's where you want to keep them housed. But since there's such a huge influx of them coming out, or I guess a bigger influx for you specifically, now you have a huge problem with it. Now you don't like it. Now you're saying don't bring them to our state. This is a huge problem with the Democrats. They say one thing to have feel good emotional based reactions because let's be honest. If we're gonna go and say, oh, we want to have sanctuary and protect the migrants, that is not based off a logical and great instance. This is based off of an emotional stance. It is an emotional stance type of thing, and emotion does not help you in these situations. So when they allow this, they have to reap the actual negative consequences. And they know, it is almost like they know that this is the thing, but they don't actually specifically say it out loud. But now they are. They're slowly saying it, and they only do it to get votes. They only do it to make people want to make them feel good. Because feeling good makes you want to be like, okay, I feel like I'm doing something great. When if you're going off of logic doesn't always make you feel good. Logic is not always the emotional response that you want that feels great. So there you have it. It's not like you have to go with logic, and if you have illegal migrants coming into your country, it causes a huge amount of other issues. And again, Lori Lightfoot is what we call a walking contradictor. She is running her city into the ground. She is laughable I would say, mayor / governor, and it's just hilarious. And here's one thing I didn't really espouse to anyone, but this could probably be one of the videos that I could be making eventually of some of my situations on LCS in general, which might be an extra segment. Would be, I am concerned about the LCS worlds, which is League of Legends, if anybody's not in the actual esports world, of them going there because Chicago has such a huge crime rate right now, like a huge crime problem. But they're only there for like maybe 2 or 3 days. But I'm kind of worried on how safe these professional players are going to be. Now, granted, it's only the U.S. thing, so it probably won't be portrayed as bad. But I'm more worried about worlds when it comes to when they're going to Chicago or New York or San Francisco, where theft is high, crime is high, and people on the daily are getting, not in good situations here. So if we're at this aspect in this part, then it's not looking good, right? So I'm kind of concerned about that. But I digress. It's a little bit off topic. But they don't like facing the consequences that these people, that they put into place. They just say these things to get people's votes, rather than being a logical stance. Most people are logical and do not want these type of issues in their place. All right. This is the reason why we cannot trust the Democrats, because they are walking contradictory, and when everything negative comes to them, they have to blame it on you or completely not have any association with it. But guess what? This is the response for sanctuary cities, and we've seen what happened in San Francisco to a woman that ended up happening to a woman, right? So, I mean, you get what you deserve. Quite hilarious, honestly. And of course, Lord Lightfoot has to screech like a banshee because she's facing the consequences that she have the policies that they have. It's not immoral, by the way, for Abbott to do this. It's not wrong because they have to deal with something right somehow. And there is a way to deal with it, by the way, Lightfoot. There is a way. How about create a border, which many other countries have borders, by the way, and create a border so that way we can vet people and remove them from place so that they're not coming into our country illegally. That's the correct way to do it, but obviously that does not fit with your agenda, with your line, because you have to go with your agenda because that's how you get votes. If you don't go with that, then guess what? You don't get your votes, right? We all know how you work. It's just being shown prod day. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.